What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I've made a video. If you're an early subscriber, you know I kept saying that I'm gonna make them around riding and not so much around like car-based or car lifestyle type stuff. And I really haven't had time to do that, so I'm really sorry for that. And a lot of you guys that I've been at the races and just made appearances places, a lot of you have been saying like, make more videos, make more vlogs. So I'll do my best to try and to make as many as I can, but I definitely get caught up in, you know, obviously riding and training. That's priority number one. But today it is way too wet outside. I don't know if you can see the rain. Show you the puddle. But it is definitely too wet to ride. And got my training done early and just kind of have the rest of the day to do whatever. And I've been wanting to do this for a while, so today I'm going to start tearing down my Honda 450L. This is probably one of the most anticipated bikes that I can remember in a long time. Maybe the 17 450 when it came out was pretty anticipated, but this thing is super awesome. For those of you that don't know about this bike, it's basically a 450 moto bike. I think the frame's a little wider, but not much. It's mainly just to clear the transmission, but basically a moto bike or the trail bike, but it has blinkers, it has a tail light. I don't know what else it has to make it street legal, but it is fully street legal. So just turn it on. It's got the headlight and then obviously blinkers, like I said, little running lights, but this thing is a blast. The best way I can describe this thing, it's basically like when you're a kid and you finish washing your bike, you dry it off, whatever, you lube the chain, and you want to get like you want to get the water out of the bearings or whatever in the wheels, and so you take it for a quick cruise down the street and turn around and come back, and it feels super wrong. That's exactly what it's like to ride this thing. I don't know, it feels so wrong every time I take off on this thing to go get coffee or go get lunch. It's like you just feel like you're breaking the law, but you're not, because it's completely street legal. So it's been a super fun bike so far, but I want to make it my own. I want to like personalize it and not make it look so stock. I'm going to try and use some of my sponsors, some of my connections in the industry and build this thing out, but I need to fully strip it down to the frame if that gives you any indication on what I want to do to this thing. But for now, I need to take off the suspension. I need to unlace the wheels, or I might just cut the spokes like you usually do, and I need to get new spokes anyways. I'm gonna start with that, take off the suspension. I got a buddy coming over, Mikey. He kind of builds custom enduro bikes, and he's gonna help me out. But yeah, let's get down to it. Oh, by the way, just as a disclaimer, I'm in my garage. You're gonna see some stuff in the background. Back there is my car simulator. If I turn this way, you're gonna see some Harleys. Those aren't mine. Don't call me out and say that I have Harleys. I only am allowed to ride and only do ride red bikes. So I'm a Honda guy through and through. I just have some friends that store their bikes here because some other friends don't have garages like I do. And I built this thing fully custom, it's huge. I also got my Sonic tool bench and toolbox that I'm gonna be using all Sonic tools to work on this thing. But yeah, like I said, let's get down to it. I just wanted to make that clear. Okay, Mikey just got here. We're gonna rip into this thing. Mikey, do you want to tell them about Bleachworks and what you do?
What's up, guys? Yeah, so kind of just stumbled upon starting kind of a little brand, just me and the buddies. Bleach Design Works is the company, and basically what we're gonna do is just kind of just focus on dual sport type bikes. I recently just built a KTM 500, and then I just built a Husky 501 for myself. Kind of did like a street tracker kind of feel. It's on some lowered suspension with flat track wheels, but just kind of making these bikes more unique. So cool coming from like a moto background, but having like these awesome performing bikes to kind of just ride on the street now and taking the dirt. So stoked to build this one with Cole. I think it's gonna be rad.
And I was saying earlier how it's like, it feels so wrong to ride these bikes like on the street. Like it feels, it really feels like you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, straight up, like, I mean, they're so nice now. They're like an actual, like an R, you know, 450 R doesn't feel that far off of this bike, so it feels like you're legit riding a dirt bike.
I'll put up a picture of his bike, but mine's gonna be more moto style. But first thing we're gonna do is take off the suspension because I wanna black out the forks and clamps. Maybe get the suspension done a little bit,
yeah,
but
we'll get a good setting in here.
But we'll start tearing into this thing. So I'm gonna put this thing on a time lapse.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, we got the forks off and working on the shock, but one thing I wanted to point out was how much wiring there is back here. It's insane. Like there's obviously there's the battery that's normally on the bike, but the wiring and then all this down here, that's definitely not on the R or the X or the RX. Limited to the L, bro.
Lucky us.
Two curls. Go, bro. Okay, so we got the forks and the shock off. I think everything, I'm gonna try and do as much as I can black. That's kind of my theme for this bike, but came out kind of hard, kind of easy at the same time. There's a lot of wiring. Obviously with street legal, it's gotta have like clutch sensor, brake light, tail light, kind of everything all wrapped into one harness, and on such a small bike, it's kind of hard. Came off relatively easy. I mean, just the subframe, then we had to take off the ECU to give the subframe some clearance between the tank and the airbox. That's pretty much it. I think I'm gonna like kind of go through, and since that stuff has to get anodized, I'm gonna kind of just like pick out some other parts that I want to do anodized black too, and just kind of try and do it all in one batch. Obviously, not everything's gonna be one shot, but we're gonna try and do it in groups like that with the frame and swing arm and all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be kind of a mission to get that down, but it's gonna take a lot of work. It's actually gonna be more of a challenge like building it. I think like seeing how much stuff there actually is on this bike is kind of gnarly. I haven't even really framed a 4-stroke. I've done a 2-stroke before, but not a 4-stroke. So for this to be my first 4-stroke is like, I don't know, it's a big step, but I'm pretty excited to kind of see how it all goes together again. So next, I'm gonna take off the swing arm because on the L, for some reason, I'm sure it's a liability purpose, but they put this beefy, I don't know, chain guard thing on. Actually, it's just a guard, it's not even a guide. And to do that, you can see they put these massive brackets on it. So in order to get rid of those, you have to either shave them down and repaint it or get a new swing arm. And luckily I have an extra swing arm at my dispense, so I'm just gonna put a new one on and just take this one off and I guess scrap it.
2 hours later.
Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna edit this to not make myself look like a dumbass, but we're finally getting the chain off. We tried to find the master link first. There is no master link on this chain. So then we had to put the wheel on, take the wheel off. We put the chain breaker on wrong and got it partially off. Now we have it on right, and finally you can see the pin is coming through right there, finally. But yeah, just a little update. This is why I race dirt bikes and I don't work on them, because it would take me hours. So we just got cleaned up. We're all done working on this thing for the day. Like I said, I want to frame it, so I got quite a bit of ways to go till it gets to that point. I think next is take the motor out. Obviously there's a ton of wiring I got to go through, but I mean, Honda definitely took no shortcuts in building this thing. It's an awesome bike on the road for sure. I haven't taken it off-road yet, but I know, you know, obviously my bike's great off-road. Super excited to take this journey, I guess. I haven't framed a bike or worked on a bike much in quite a few years, and I know I sound kind of spoiled saying that, but I do like working on bikes. I like learning, so this is a fun experience for me, you know, and having Mikey by my side helping me definitely is a big help. Got most of my stuff laid out, you know, plastics, and I've got this swing arm still. Like I said, these tabs, I'm gonna do a lot of off-road riding on this thing, so I don't want those on there. But it's kind of cool because the L swing arm is actually not hollow. I forget what they fill it with something to make the road noise less apparent or whatever when you're riding it, so pretty cool. I'm gonna do a lot of work to this thing. I'm really excited to show you guys. If you have any suggestions for me or what you'd like to see, definitely let me know, because I have an idea of what direction I want to go with this thing, but your guys' help is always appreciated. And yeah, I'm excited. This thing's a beast. It's super fun to ride. Anyways, subscribe, like this video. Again, comment what you want to see, and I'll keep making them. Gonna just send off the suspension, go get redone, and that'll be back soon. And then I'm gonna, like I said, continue to take this thing apart and get stuff ready for anodizing and powder coating and all that fun stuff. But yeah, see you guys next time.
Aside from my soul.